Hello and welcome back to week 25 of Let's Make a Book Baby, where I am taking you all the way from the very beginning of writing my book until I publish it. So this week, I'm not streaming currently, but I am at my streaming area, which I'd like to change to make it all fancy and put my books behind it like you always see on YouTube every week. But that's because I want to show you an update, so I wanted to give you a little teaser of what the book cover is going to look like, because if you don't know me, I am an LGBTQ plus author, but I'm also an illustrator. So I illustrate everything for my books. I do the typography, I do the design for the interior, all of that stuff. So I wanted to show you a little bit of the process on that because I'm not done with the book cover and I'm doing something special with it this time that I'd love to talk to you about. Before I show you a sneak peek, because it's like kind of top secret, I would like to update you quickly on the book. So if you don't know what this book is about, it will help you understand why I'm drawing the cover like this. So this is going to be a queer werewolf romance book. Two main characters. They are in an Omegaverse type of world. One of them is a trans guy, the other one's a cis guy, and they're both Omegas, but the cis guy, he's actually also like his werewolf gender is gender fluid. So there's lots of like different elements here that I think are very fun as a trans author to write about. And I also did write a lot the past week, so you'll notice that I am updating this video. Like, I had to do 2 videos in a week, and that is because I got a little bit behind because I was so focused on writing and drawing this cover. So I'm extremely excited to show you this right now, especially because I just did the title reveal. So the official book baby's name is Shadow King Omega, if you have not heard that yet. It's about 2 childhood best friends who are clueless men in love. Like, they didn't realize that that's what they're feeling for each other the whole time because they've just known each other for so long. We don't know if they're fated mates per se, or if they're just like choosing each other because they don't know, but they're wanting to choose each other. And neither of them knows that the other feels the same way, but they start to figure this out. But then they have the issue of like, okay, even if we both feel the same way, like, what does this mean? Like, how do we reconfigure our relationship after 26 years? Like, so it's a time. It's very fun, and I have a lot of fun with this book. I'm almost done writing it. I'm in the last few chapters, and I fixed that section that I didn't like. I don't want to speak too soon, because I'm still adding some of my fixes in, but I have all of it plotted out, so that left me some time to work on the cover, both on Twitch and also just on my own. So I wanted to take you through the steps of that and what my thought processes are. Okay, so let us swap to showing you my drawing screen. This is my inspo board. So I started over here on the left, and this is like 2 different things at once. Okay, so the concept I had in mind was that I wanted my characters to be very visible in this like snowy landscape. So behind them would be like soft blues and like pearly whites. Like, I like the iridescence of snow where it looks kind of like a crystally pattern. So I was like trying to pick out reference photos that had some of that shininess, which I still need to add into the cover, by the way, when you're going to see, like, it's a work in progress, so anything you see is still a work in progress. I was trying to grab things that would kind of give the vibes and the color palette. Even if I wouldn't want this exact color palette, I like that this image has a bunch of different colors and it's a snowy landscape. So I was gathering reference for that. I really liked this one because the shadows are such like a deep bluish, like tealish blue. And then this is like a bigger long landscape, and I still want to do this. I want to add the little moon on the cover, so I still need to do that. Then I was grabbing some different references. So these are like of a box braids that were like tied into a bun that I was drawing for Marcus, but this is the background type of inspo where it's more pastel-y types of things. I'll move these out of the way. These were some character references, but this is like the whole background in general. So you can kind of tell that there's a vibe, like an overall color vibe. And that's what I like to use for my inspiration photos. I don't like to grab exact colors, but just give a vibe. So I really liked these photos in specific, like specifically these ones, because it gave me like a clearer view of what a long landscape looks like. And I'll tell you why in a second when I show you the cover. Because I was trying to come up with something that was very long, whereas for most book covers, it's very vertical, like up and down illustrations. But with this one, I had to think about a longer landscape, and it's very exciting. So I tried to get some different mountains and things and different hills. I was trying to figure out, like, okay, is this going to be the Pacific Northwest, or is it going to be like a snowy landscape in Sweden? Honestly, it's a forest, okay? But I liked that these all gave me the vision. I didn't use this reference photo, but I was looking forever at different references because I just wasn't liking things, and I really liked this because Ari in this book is the Shadow King. So he has like a little bit of a mysterious vibe to him, but not when you meet him. So when you're friends with him, he's pretty chill, pretty open, but he's like a secret badass, and Marcus adores him. So I was like, okay, I really like this pose because it's different, but it's a nice like intimate pose, which I like to do that for my book covers. This one I'm thinking of doing for a different cover, so I will tell you my plans. We'll get there, but I had to grab reference for different things. So like ignoring them kissing, I was like, okay, I need a hand that goes on the neck. I had some other ones here in case I wanted to do like a forehead nose boop instead of a forehead kiss, and I was trying to get like hands on the back type of thing. Also on Unsplash, we were talking about this on my Twitch stream. It's kind of irritating because on Pexels, like both of these sites have stock images that are legal to use, like free use by the photographers who upload them. So it's important to find that out when you are doing things like this. I personally feel like that's a much safer way and kinder way to be to fellow artists. Like even as a writer, you're a fellow artist. So if you don't want your stuff stolen, it's nice to not steal anybody else's stuff. I was noticing on Unsplash that like it seems like they really don't have as many LGBTQ couples anymore, which I'm very confused because I thought they did, but Pexels did. Unfortunately, all of my reference still ended up being people who like at least look like they are a cis man and cis woman. But I was like, okay, I'm not looking at it for like gender reference. Like I know how my characters look. So it was more of just like, how does a hand look when it's grabbing someone in this way or not grabbing them? I don't know. You know, that sounds weird. Anyway, I think that that's kind of unfortunate and kind of worrisome in my opinion, but just made me feel like, okay, I really need to publish this. People like me probably need stuff like this because even on Splash, it's hard to find reference of people like me. This is the title. I will show you without the checkered background. I'm gonna definitely probably change the subtitle still, but I just had it as a placeholder because I wanted to see on the cover as a reference how it would look. And these are the characters. You've seen me hold up this print quite a few times now, but okay, so I have this massive folder right now, and this is what I originally had landed on as a sketch. So you can see like within these sketches I have just like hundreds of layers of things that I was testing out and changing, moving their bodies around and things, and it looks very simple by this point. But I think also because I was trying to figure out like the exact mountain pattern I wanted to have in the background, and you're probably like, this doesn't look like a book cover. So here is what will be the front cover, because yes, my idea was, hang on, that I would like to do a full wraparound cover. So let me show you as an example. This is My Shy Alpha. This is Ari's parents' book. So I'm using the hardcover as an example. Hardcovers have dust jackets, right? So on the dust jacket, when you lay it out flat, it is this big landscape. And see how if there's an image, it will just carry over on the edges where it's folded. And if you want this division on the spine to be like its own flat color, then it has to have basically like a separation between the front and the spine. I really like how on Kickstarter there's a bunch of special editions that go from one end to the other, and I was like, I am capable of doing that. Like, why don't I just literally make it like so that when you open up the dust jacket that it is a full wraparound illustration. And like even on the paperback book, like the paperback book still has all the pieces of a hardcover, it just doesn't have these extra inner flaps. So like I could still use the same illustration for the paperback version that would wrap around the whole spine and to the back. So I was very excited about this idea, and I was like, okay, I think that I would like to do a a full wraparound illustration using this template that I made for myself. This center area would be the front cover. This is a fold area, so a little bit of this will show still on the front cover on this like edge right here, but some of it will be folded, so like you would carry the illustration over anyway for a hardcover, but I want it to wrap around on the spine and to the back. So this is a thick spine. I don't know how long the book is going to end up being in its like final form, so I just did it bigger and added even a little extra on the end right here because I don't really know yet what the final size is going to be. Whatever it is, I made it so that I will be able to move the illustration around. In terms of the sketch itself, I'm going to turn off some of these layers so you can see like some of the original different things that I had. Oops, yeah, you can see I changed Marcus's arm, and that originally I had Ari's arms up and I separated the two of them so that I could move them around easier. But I was kind of using that reference photo and I thought that it was kind of fun and like quirky, but then I didn't like it. So I changed Ari's arm to go up and wrap around Marcus's head cutely, just like Marcus has his hand on the back of Ari's neck. So this is the original sketch together that I didn't break apart as much. The other issue was I drew Ari kind of tall, and I was like, he's literally not tall. As you can see, he goes to Marcus's shoulders, and Marcus mentions that multiple times. I was like, I don't know, maybe he's wearing some tall boots, but I just really did not like that. So I just had to copy and paste it and redraw, like scoot his whole body down. But then that made it be like, okay, no wonder his arms are like so high up because he's just a little guy and he has to, he has to reach up to hug Marcus. I love him so much. Everyone who's looking at this is like, okay, Ari is like a power move right now. Like he's like, don't mess with my man. I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what? That's very Ari. So I really, really liked how that pose ended up being. So like I went with it so far. The other thing that I sketched in were these two little wolves. So right here on the back cover would be where a barcode would go. And then over here is where I put my imprint information, which I will tell you about when I'm putting that on maybe next week. It's very easy, honestly. It's like the easiest part of the process. I thought that that would be kind of cute because with these wolves, like let's say the spine is shorter, I can just keep them on their own layer and like move them around. So I'm already designing the whole cover with that in mind of like, okay, I can move these pieces to make it framed nicely, however long the book ends up being. For now, I'm putting them in this general area. So hiding the sketch, I'll show you like some of the different layers that I have currently. These guys were on. Here, I'll hide the template. So I've been working on this for a while, so it's going to look very different. But if I open up my folders, you can see down here, like I have all these different little trees that I drew. So I just have them all grouped in together and like I put on each one, like if I want it to look more far away, then I put this like bluish hazy filter on it because that's what the atmosphere kind of has, this like light blue haze to it, kind of like the sky color. That's like one way to make things look very far away. So that's kind of why I went with this blue in general, and I really liked how it goes with like the bright snow. So you'll notice that there's a gap right here because this is where Ari and Marcus are. So I did not draw behind them. Sorry to say, I'm not going to waste my time doing that with this, but at least I do have the the background mostly fleshed out. You can see here some of the different layers that I've added where I've just changed the colors around. I tried to darken it because originally I kind of liked how it was like a little bit lighter, kind of like this, and it looked very snowy, but then I was kind of feeling like it was blending in too much, so I've been messing around with it and making things a little bluer to be more contrasted. These are all of the mountains, and like each one has a different filter on it to be like slightly less hazy, like just adding the atmosphere onto it. So that's been a time. These are the clouds that I drew. If you look up close, you can see it's just like my brush kind of swirled in some circles, which was fun. I think I'm going to change this, but my idea originally to make it look more pearlized is that I want to add this like pink and yellow to it. So that goes for the snow as well. This looks like white snow, if you're like just kind of looking at it, but it's very pink because I want it to feel like a rainbow. I kind of want to subtly scream this is a very gay book, but like which I think is kind of silly. Like, I don't know if it really works that way, honestly, but I think that it's fun and it feels exciting, especially for romance to be like kind of more saturated. So I don't want it to just look like a plain white book and like have it be more of a baby blue, like a sky blue color. So here's my folder with the two of them in it. And I'm still working on this right now. I'm not very happy with a couple of things. Like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time figuring out what I'm not liking, but I have just edited this. So I'm hoping that I like it better now. You can see some of the different filters I added to try to make it look more snowy, but I didn't like it because if anything whitens them at all, I feel like that is inappropriate. So I am not going to do that. I would like to preserve the like melanin. This is very important to me. Each of them has their own separate layers, which I have messed around with a lot. Honestly, like you can just see how much detail I've had to put into each of these things and how I've swapped things out if I turn the layers off or something. So this is like Ari's skin. Here are his lines for his face. I really like his sneaky look to him right now. I'm happy with that. I had so much fun drawing his little floofy hair. I put a little video of me doing that process video on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and I think that like it was fun seeing people be like, oh my god, his little hair. I separated Marcus's hand and put it in Ari's folder because it's like attached to Ari's body. And so Marcus's hand is in Ari's body folder. Ari's clothing, I've been pretty back and forth about what I would like him to wear. I kind of landed on this. I made his outfit much darker than what I originally had. Yeah, so his outfit originally was more gray. I think that it just felt like a little more bland to me, and also if he's the Shadow King, I think that he needs to have a little bit of darker clothes. So definitely the darker scarf was working. Like before, let's see if you can see it. Yeah, before it was like this light blue, and honestly, it was kind of reminding me of this anime called Noragami. I was like he started giving me Yato vibes when his scarf was lighter because Yato wears a white scarf. So I was like, uh-oh. I feel like I fixed that. Sorry if I put that in your head. Marcus was easy, thankfully. I was happy with him, but I kind of went back and forth about exactly which direction I would like his bun to go and stuff. So I drew them multiple times until I felt like it looked how I wanted it to look and wasn't like, didn't have too many divisions of which directions the braids were going, because I feel like then it would imply it's like a lot of wrapping around, and I don't know if his hair is that long. He probably has like extensions in, but anyway, so he's wearing like a nice winter jacket, and he's just so much more formal than Ari is, which I think is funny. Like these two are very funny. This is the work in progress. I also tested out how the title might look. Here was one option, and then there's also this option because I was talking to my dad about it. So let me show you. This is where the spine would be. I have two different ways that it could be. So it could be dark, and I do kind of like the look of that here. Like if this is like part of the spine, if we're just looking in this section that I've marked out with the template, I do kind of like this. It's hard because I recently made the mountains darker, so now I have to solve this problem because I really like this like white color, like silvery, kind of even purpley undertones with like some blue and stuff, so it kind of goes with the pearlescent look I was going for, but I feel like it is too light, like especially looking from far away, it kind of just fades in. So I can do some tricks that will make it stand out more, but I don't want it to ruin the landscape look. Like if you unfold it and want it as a poster type of thing, sometimes you just have to do that. So I'll probably add some very subtle shadow behind it using the colors that are already behind it so that it blends seamlessly. But my dad was suggesting, which I haven't decided yet, so that's why I wanted to show you today early, to make Ari and Marcus, instead of this size that they are right now, like maybe a lot bigger. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Putting the title up here instead of at the bottom, and like this is a placeholder for the subtitle. I don't even know if I'll put it on the cover anymore because it's not feeling like it's fitting, but my author name would be where it is currently, so it's a good reference. And I kind of like this. I felt like they were too close, so then I tried to go have a midpoint right here. Sorry, there's two of doppelgangers. Let me turn them off. I just like copied and pasted the folder and was like testing out different sizes. So I kind of like this size. And if I just crop it to show where they are in space, like how the paperback cover would look, for example, then I do think that this is a nice book cover. I have to still finish the details on the mountains and things and put shadows under the trees. So I'm still undecided on if I want them to be this close or the original size, and then move the title back down to the original location that I had it, like somewhere down here. And I could even, if I'm not using the subtitle, move it even lower. And then I'd put like my author name up here a little bit smaller. And this is what I like to call the cake composition. So in most fantasy books and like romance books, if you're using character art, it has this like tiered cake look where the text down here would be like the base of the cake, like the widest part of the cake, and then like the characters themselves kind of make this triangle like tiered looking shape. That's what I could call the cake composition. And that's like my frame of reference. It hasn't gone out of style yet. I keep looking. I keep doing my research. So I was planning on using the cake shape, but I'm like, I can put the title wherever the hell I want, I guess. And I don't think that it's unusual still to have the title be up here, where if I want to put Arya and Marcus down lower and have them be a little bit closer up, I think this would still be nice. It's just I will have to do my shading magic, as I mentioned, to make the title stand out better, because I kind of fell in love with this white silvery text. Good luck to me. Yeah, this is where I'm at right now with the cover. This ended up being longer, so I hope that you enjoyed it. I wanted to do double update this week so that we could catch back up and I could update you officially halfway through like an entire 6 months next week. 26 weeks out of 52 in 1 year is what next week will be. So I can't believe that. I have a lot of plans for this. I'm going to do a whole separate cover for the special edition. So I wanted to make this fancy like a special edition, but it's not even the special edition, so I'm very excited. I will keep telling you this over time. I have a lot of different plans for that, so stay tuned, definitely. And thanks for being here. Make sure to subscribe if you would like to see the 6-month update next week, and I hope that you're having a great day or night wherever you are, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.